The Democrats really screwed themselves this time. They got played in their own game and stepped into their own
shift.
But don't get too excited, because a cornered animal can and will attack.
Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time.
In March 2019, the Mueller investigation was concluded. Attorney General Barr, Inspector General Horowitz, and federal prosecutor Durham launched a counter-investigation into the origins of the Russia-collusion hoax. By this time, the Trump administration was already onto the Ukraine connection. Remember how Biden's presidential bid announcement was delayed? Ah, yes. There was an election in the Ukraine. Biden happened to delay his campaign's announcement until the Ukraine election results were in. But why? Back in 2014, the Obama administration, the CIA, and none other than George Soros himself helped a Ukrainian far-right neo-Nazi uprising. Yes, neo-Nazis overthrow an elected government, replacing it with a selected government.
In recent days, Kiev has turned into a full-scale war zone.
События, которые проходили в тот период. Сначала акции проходили мирно, замечены нами радикалы, которые относились к правым партиям, неофашистским организациям.
As fate would have it, the selected president of Ukraine was replaced by an elected president in an overwhelming landslide victory. The newly elected Ukrainian government was eager to work with the Trump administration regarding, amongst other things, corruption. Gee, I can't imagine why.
You had a NABU director that was trying to interfere, by his own admission, in the U.S. election by releasing the Manafort documents. The same person who then shuts down the Burisma investigation that your office would have had sufficient evidence to pursue.
Yes, this is the same director who was personally congratulated by Mr. Biden when he was selected as the chief of NABU.
Wow, so the very people that leaked Manafort's black ledger to the press, resulting in his resignation as Trump's campaign manager, thereby helping Hillary Clinton's campaign, happened to be the very same people that also got prosecutors to back off Joe Biden's son.
If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
After we had brokered a deal to transition power in Ukraine,
Man, it must be nice to be a Democrat. Well, unless Trump is your president, that is. The Democrats must have known federal prosecutor Durham and Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, were in the Ukraine, and that they were going to find everything from Hillary Clinton's emails to evidence of pro-Democrat interference in the 2016 election to elements of the origins of the Russia-collusion hoax. Man, these Democrats sure were busy in the Ukraine, and they must have been dying with anticipation as to what President Trump was going to find. However, Trump must have anticipated the Democrats making these last-ditch desperate moves, like a move towards impeachment.
They have walked into something that I was hoping they'd walk into for 6 months, and what they've exposed is probably what's going to turn out to be one of the major scandals of the early part of the 21st century.
What if, by chance, Trump set up a trap for the Democrats, whereby the leaker, whistleblower, might have overheard secondhand disinformation planted as bait? The leaker, whistleblower, could take this disinformation over to none other than Democrat House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff. Not that he's a sucker or anything.
The congressman from California, who you see on television all the time, talking about the Russia-collusion with the Trump organization back during the campaign.
He's top Democrat on the House Intel Committee, though.
Yeah, a couple of Russian comics somehow got him on the phone and convinced him that they were Ukrainians and they'd had dirt on Donald Trump.
And what's the nature of the compromise?
Well, there were pictures of naked Trump.
Okay. And so Putin was made aware of the availability of the compromising material?
Yes, of course.
I feel like it's like the Borat movie. I mean, it's like we have pictures of naked Trump.
Meanwhile, the leaker, whistleblower, was in contact with Schiff's committee prior to filing the whistleblower complaint.
The whistleblower tells us the officials that I spoke with told me, and I also learned from multiple U.S. officials that, in other words, all of this is secondhand information.
Which many argue appears written by more than one person, such as a group of attorneys.
Do you think the whistleblower drafted that complaint? I mean, realistically, was that drafted by inter alia? I mean, look at what the phraseology, the endnotes and the footnotes. This was written by a law firm.
It looks like the Democrats may have been goaded into thinking they finally had what they needed to impeach Trump.
If he continues to obstruct Congress and flout the law, Donald Trump will leave Congress, in my view, no choice but to initiate impeachment.
So they went for it and made a very, very bold move.
The president has admitted to asking the president of Ukraine to take actions which would benefit him politically. Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry.
Oops, only for Trump to release the actual transcript of the controversial phone call prior to alleged whistleblower complaints being released.
The president just tweeted, "I've authorized the release tomorrow of the complete, fully declassified and unredacted transcript of my phone conversation with President Zelensky of Ukraine," resulting in the whole thing blowing up in the Democrats' faces.
This is a cover-up. This is a cover-up.
Now, all of a sudden, the Democrats don't want to move forward with the impeachment, knowing the Republicans would use their own subpoena powers to bring evidence into the congressional record.
Nancy Pelosi knows that she's got to withhold that ability of the Republicans to actually do what they should be able to do, which is to create the other side of the case.
But if this is going to be real, if they really have grounds to seek the president's impeachment, they not only should have a vote because it's in their interest when they go to court to have a vote, they should be proud to have a vote.
You see, technically, if this impeachment thing falls flat on its face and fails in the Senate, Trump gets to one-up an extra term as if his presidency hasn't even started yet. Oops, I don't think the Democrats thoroughly thought this one through. But wait, there's more. Did I mention the Inspector General report on FISA abuse is about to drop? As I said, something big was coming after Labor Day, and here it is. Sources say likely in 2 weeks, on maybe a Monday, like the 21st. This will be exciting. Except we know how these Democrats operate, so we should expect...
A dramatic new development could threaten one of President Trump's defenses in the House impeachment inquiry. A second whistleblower has come forward claiming to have firsthand knowledge of the president's July 25th phone call with the president of Ukraine.
Or maybe...
House Democrats subpoenaed the White House on Friday. House Oversight Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings said he'd subpoena the White House in a letter Wednesday if it did not comply with the document request.
Something like that. But we all know this bag of tricks is dead on arrival, given that President Trump and the Ukrainian president have corroborated no wrongdoing.
We spoke about many things, and I think, and you read it, that nobody pushed me. Yes.
In other words, no pressure. You know there was no pressure. All you have to do is see it, what went on the call.
And since they haven't actually initiated any formal impeachment proceeding, their subpoenas are in name only.
Mr. Trump maintains he did nothing wrong and is pushing back. He says White House cooperation with subpoena requests could hinge on whether House Speaker Nancy Pelosi takes a vote to formally launch an impeachment investigation.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham has a question for Democrats tonight. As to the House of Representatives, he asks, if you believe this complaint has put the public in grave danger, don't you have an obligation to vote to launch an impeachment inquiry? Americans deserve to see where you stand and evaluate your judgment.
So what could the Legion of Doom have up their sleeve?
We want to make it abundantly clear that any effort by the Secretary, by the President, or anyone else to interfere with the Congress's ability to call before it relevant witnesses will be considered as evidence of obstruction of the lawful functions of Congress.
They put guardrails in the Constitution because they knew there might be someone who would overplay his or her power. Overplay his or her power.
It's not how you play the game, Toy Man. It's how you win.
The Dems are caught in a stalemate. If they move forward with impeachment, the Republicans will take advantage of it, issue their own subpoenas, and it will eventually get railroaded in the Senate. If they don't move forward with impeachment, it will demoralize the Democrats. Even if they have Michelle, Oprah, or Hillary Clinton.
Every time I think about Trump, I get allergic.
Sitting and waiting, prepared for deployment as a rescue candidate, this impeachment charade is going to severely damage the Democrat Party, likely costing them the House and the 2020 election. So what can they do? There's always the weatherman option.
At midday, the Associated Press got a phone call from a man saying he was with the Weather Underground and that bombs would explode at the Departments of Interior and Agriculture and the Smithsonian before the day was out.
Sources have alerted the DHS, law enforcement, and even the reserves have been prepared for possible civil unrest in cities like New York and Los Angeles on or around October 19th, conveniently timed with the Inspector General's report.
To call for launching this different kind of protest beginning in October. It has become all the more necessary and possible now that the impeachment hearings have begun. This opens up the possibility for increased mass struggle by the masses of people taking to the streets and the public squares. We had determined that the political situation had developed to the point where we needed to call for sustained mass protests beginning in late October.
Democrat Representative Rashida Tlaib let it slip that Democrat lawmakers are trying to figure out how to arrest White House officials and where to hold them if they don't comply with the House subpoenas.
Is it the D.C. police that goes and gets them? No. Where do we hold them? You know, what happens? And they're like, well, Rashida, we're trying to figure it out ourselves because this is uncharted territory.
He must respond to the subpoena. He must come forward, or he could be charged, I believe, with obstruction of the impeachment. But I certainly hope that it means we can drag him in or we can arrest him.
Wow. So this next round of Democratic delay, dissuade, and distraction consists of more alleged whistleblowers, House Democrats' new subpoena ultimatum deadline of October 18th. Democrats seek to arrest White House officials if they fail to meet this deadline. Leftist protest groups are prepared for major civil unrest on October 19th.
Playing right into our trap.
Wow, maybe if they can arrest the entire Trump administration and have mobs of Antifa and MAGA hat-wearing right-wingers fighting in the streets, everyone will forget about the IG report. How convenient that would be for the Democrats. What's inside the IG report? That's so bad that the Democrats are willing to create this choreographed effort to railroad the Attorney General, Inspector General, and federal prosecutors' investigations into the origins of the Russia collusion hoax.
Stay tuned. That's what Horowitz is going to tell us about.
Take advantage of the amazing Final Days Black Friday sale at InfoWarsStore.com right now. 50% off, double Patriot points, and free shipping. Products are flying off the shelves. These are high-end quality nutraceuticals. Get them while they last. And you can feel happy knowing that you're supporting me while taking advantage of these great deals.